My name is Mikkel. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Denmark and I'm here in Shanghai.
I'm Tobias. I'm also 21 years old and I'm also from Denmark, and we're here with the LTL school in Shanghai. Yeah, I mean, like it's a good question. I think we've also asked ourselves a few times before going here, and especially when we got here, and especially also when we were in the Air China flight. What on earth are we doing right now? I think it's about like challenging yourself, as our channel is also called, what this is all about. Like going out there and doing something that's different from what you've previously done to really like expand who you are and grow personally.
But to do that, you obviously also need some kind of motivation. Last summer we did an internship in Suzhou, here in China, where we really just talked about like, this is a really cool country. It would be so cool to actually be able to understand something, because when you get to China, it's like you understand zero, and people don't understand anything that you say. You can't even just say like yes or no. Like they don't understand. You need to know Chinese words. So it is quite frustrating when you can't communicate at all. So we talked about it. It would be awesome to at some point take some time out of our calendars to actually learn it.
Yeah. And I think like also before I got to China last summer, that was my first time in China ever. Before I got here, I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, they speak Chinese, but they'll probably understand some English. Like when you go to Spain or France and Europe, and they don't really speak that good English, but like you can communicate with the people. I thought it would probably be the same here in China, and then we got here, like they didn't understand anything at all. And then we were like, okay, it would be amazing at some point to actually be able to speak Chinese, to be able to just go out as you are in Europe or Denmark or anything, just speak to people, just be like, hey, what's up, I'm Tobias, what are you doing, and you want to get some food or anything. Like, yeah, we started off by looking into what we could actually do with these 3 months, and I think the main thing for us was to learn something new, something we never looked at before. So we were also considering learning how to code or something like that, so challenging ourselves. We ended up going with learning Chinese because, I mean, there was so many people living here in China, and like Chinese is the future. And also, as you talked about before, Mikkel, like the motivation we had from last summer being here in China, seeing this amazing country, and as we talked about, like sitting at looking at the skyline of Shanghai, one of the most beautiful skylines in the world. I mean, that's something I would love to be part of and talking to people here.
Yeah, definitely. And it also again turns back to the thing that Spanish people, I can communicate with Spanish people right now, even though I don't speak Spanish, because usually they'll speak English, or at least I'll like be able to say sí, no in Spanish. I couldn't do that in Chinese at all.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the most foreign language that I've been interested in, at least. And then it's a huge language. So many people who speak Chinese, so it would just be a major advantage for us in the future to be able to speak that.
Yeah, I think, like, as you say, it's the most foreign language that we've ever been introduced to, and therefore also the biggest challenge, and that's what we wanted to give ourselves. I think there are two aspects of it, for me at least. I think the first aspect is that once again it's also a huge challenge, like doing vlogs every single day, something that we've never done before. So it's also something that will like make sure that we actually go out and use our Chinese. Like when we have the camera in our hands, we can't really just go back to a hotel room, lie down and watch a movie.
It'll be a boring vlog.
Very boring vlog. I think the second aspect is also that, like, I think it's something that's also fun doing. Like it's fun doing the vlogs and walking around, filming what we're doing, and giving people like a pretty unique view into what it's like living in China for 90 days. The things you see here, like filming from up the Shanghai Tower, like an amazing view that a lot of people don't really get to see in a lifetime. So I think like being able to give people that view into how amazing China is.
Yeah, and it's something that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
We haven't seen these kinds of daily vlogs from China before. You have vloggers in the US running around New York City being awesome, but you don't really have that in China, at least not a lot. And then at the same time, being able to follow someone in the process of learning Chinese, that's pretty interesting. I think, at least. I thought when we started this project, because we were very curious about learning Chinese, but we had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
So we're sort of also just wanting to give people a view into what they can expect when learning Chinese.
And how far they can expect to get in 3 months.
Exactly. That's a really interesting point, because people always wonder, okay, I have these 3 months, or I have this 1 month. How much can I learn?
I think like a third point also, a very important point is that in I don't know, like 5-10 years, when we sit down and have a cup of coffee and think about the time we were in China, like, oh, it was so much fun. We can just go into YouTube, find out 90 videos, and experience the entire thing all over again. So I think that's pretty amazing. Like, we should do that every time we go on vacation or go places, because it's just amazing. You can sit down so long time after and experience the whole thing all over again.
I've been to Shanghai a few times before, only as a tourist. So I've been running around seeing the Bund and East Nanjing Road and all the stuff that you see, and that's cool. And there's a lot of people, but it's the first time I've actually just, like, we live in Hongqiao now, which is a place I've never been to before, except when I had to take the train. So that's really cool that you get to see areas that you haven't seen before, and it's just such a cool city. People seem really nice, and it's definitely different than where I come from in Denmark. We always say that we've been to Shanghai together once before. We said, like, this is the most Western place in China, but yeah, and that's true when you go to Nanjing Road and the Bund, but and everyone speaks English. But then when you go to local areas, then it's China all the way, and you really get to see that, and that's really exciting to experience.
Yeah, I think, like, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I was in Shanghai for the first time ever last summer. We were only here for two days, I think. 2 days, and when we were leaving on the second day, I was like, I need to come back to Shanghai. I mean, I need to come back because it's such an amazing city. But I think coming back, like, as a person who has to, even though it's only for a month, a person who has to start a life here and has to get, like, an everyday life, like waking up, doing, like, doing the metro, getting to work or school or whatever, like going out, getting lunch at some local restaurant and stuff like that. I mean, I think that's really different from being a tourist actually living here in the city. I think it's been a way better experience living in the city and starting a life here, because it's just an amazing city. Also to see all the local areas, like going out to a small tiny restaurant where you just get some food, cost 15 kwai, and it's just amazing food. That's just an amazing experience. I have nothing but amazing things to say. I mean, we're sitting in the classroom where we've been in every day for the past week, and going into these small group classes where we're only 4 students with 1 teacher is something I've never tried before. We've always been in classes of like 30 people in high school and like 180 people in university now. But sitting down with like 4 students and 1 teacher that can, like, when we do the pronunciation, she'll be like, didn't really get it. Can you say that again? And then you just like try to come up with the pronunciation, and she helps you. He or she helps you until you just nail it. And that's just an amazing, like, I think that's just an amazing way of teaching students how to actually do it. I mean, we sit down and do like role plays of, like, we're going into a restaurant and then Mikkel will be the waiter and I'll have to order some food and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it's been so much, and it's also been so much fun. You know, I mean, time just flies when you have fun, and you don't really notice that you just spend five hours just sitting in here doing all the exercises and going through the lessons. So it's been really, really great.
Yeah. And our teachers have been amazing. Like, we have 2 teachers, Jason and Chinchin, and they're just great. It's they make it a lot of fun, and it's you don't really think so much about it that you're studying. No. Studying for some people is like a negative word. It's a lot of fun, and it's every day you go out and you think, wow, I've learned so many new words today, and I need to go try them out. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think there's been one day in the past week where we haven't left the school and we were like, wow, we learned so much today. This has been such a great day. Let's just go out and try to use whatever we've learned. I mean, we've done that every day. Also, on Friday, we were actually sitting in here singing a song in Chinese. That was really, we almost promised Chin Chin that we would sing it for her on Monday, so we need to practice later.
I think she expects that.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of like 2 things we've, like 2 areas we've touched upon so far. It's been food, a lot about food, which is really practical. You can go out in restaurants and you can order. We know how to order rice and noodles and dumplings and the big dumpling buns thing. Yeah. And then sort of the second pillar has been normal conversation. Just hello, my name is. What is your name? Where are you from? That kind of stuff. So those two things which are just really useful.
Yeah, what we've learned so far. I mean, we started off with the first day almost spending the entire day just nailing all the pronunciations of all the vocals, because that is something that's fairly different from Danish and English. So I mean, that was also fun, trying to really challenging ourselves in pronouncing everything correctly. Yeah, and especially also, as you said, with the food, that's really good, especially for me being like a vegetarian or vegan, because like I was kind of afraid going here that would be like a huge challenge for me to actually get something to eat that wasn't just like cabbage or something, or rice or something like that. But I mean, it has been no issue at all. I mean, I've had just as great food as you have. So yeah, that's been, this is something we've talked a lot about, like what can we actually expect in 90 days. I think my personal goal at least is that I'll be able to go out and just have a basic conversation, just like a conversation where I'm not afraid that they're going to ask about like one area which I can't talk about at all. So I mean, like not a fluent conversation where I like all the words just come out of my mouth and I'm able to say anything, like everything, but a basic conversation. I think that's the goal in 3 months.
Yeah, that's also it's also what I've been thinking. In terms of numbers, we've heard that HSK 3 should be doable. So I think that's sort of what we're aiming for. But we're just going for learning as much as possible, because as Tobias said, we just want to be able to actually speak to people, and when we can speak to if we're able to actually speak a little bit to some people, we'll also have a really good basis for improving next time we go to China.
Yeah, I think like it also resonates pretty good with the challenge, like how much Chinese can we learn in 90 days. Like we don't know, but let's just see how far we get. Yeah.
We're trying to manage our time as best as we can. The first couple of days were kind of hard. We didn't really get to bed before like 2 a.m. because we were so tired after a day of classes. And then we had to shoot some video, and then we had to go home and edit it, and we weren't really that good with the editing yet, and our whole workflow. So, but we've been trying to improve that, and now we have a system that sort of works.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is tough balancing doing two major things, like learning Chinese, which is a huge thing to do, and then also starting an entire YouTube channel. I mean, it's tough, but it's fun. And we also like to work hard. So I mean, in terms of that, this is good for us and it's fun. And we also still get the time, like to actually go out and practice the Chinese and doing all the vlog content. That's not the tough part of it, because we're just filming whatever we're doing, and then we force ourselves out to speaking Chinese and like trying to do stuff. So in terms of that's not the tough part about it. The tough part is also doing all the editing and stuff like that. But I mean, I'd say if we were only here to learn Chinese, that would definitely be manageable in terms of balancing time. Yeah, so we're doing this 90-day challenge of how much Chinese can we actually learn in 90 days. And we've chosen to document all of it on YouTube. So we're doing the daily vlogs. This means every day we'll post a vlog about what we've done the previous day. So, for instance, we've been out talking to strangers. We've been to a Chinese New Year's party. We've been out trying to order train tickets, ordering food in Chinese, stuff like that. So that's what you'll see on the challenge, how we go from zero to hero on YouTube. So you can find us on Challenge Yourself on YouTube.
Yes, and we're also on Instagram, where we do sort of behind the scenes stuff. We try to just post daily on the story a few posts, just showing what we're running around doing, showing how we make the videos. So it's a more real-time way to sort of follow us. And that's CY_vlog.
Yeah, you should go and then follow us, because one day we're gonna do let our followers decide what we'll do for an entire day. So go in there if you want to decide whether we're gonna, I don't know,
go north or go south.
Yeah.